Hey everybody, this is Nick. Emily had asked if I would just take a quick second, couple minutes, and share with you guys some tips on how to get better at recommendations on a virtual presentation. I figured I would do that. And that being said, just to give you kind of a background, I've been doing this job a little over a year now. In the past year, I've sold, my career sales are about 70,000, a little over 70,000. And I would say over that time, about a little less than half of my presentations have been virtual presentations. And so I've done a lot of virtual presentations. I'm really comfortable with the virtual presentation. I love it a lot. It's super flexible. I don't know. It's really nice to be able to just travel and sell Cutco wherever, and then to sell Cutco without having to travel wherever. So I've got customers in New York, Washington, Georgia, Florida, like all over the place. And so I love that. It really opens a lot of doors, but you can't do more virtual presentations if you can't get referrals for more virtual presentations in that demo. So I wanted to go over some of the things. And the biggest thing that I wanted to start with, the number one thing that I would say, and it's going to sound a little harsh, but if you're having problems getting recommendations, if you're having problems getting recommendations in a virtual demo, don't blame the virtual demo, blame your demo. So you probably have some things in your normal demo that you need to work on that will help you get recommendations not only in home but also virtually. So chances are you just need to get better at recommendations in general. And like I said, I know that may be hard to hear. A lot of you may have had a lot of success, but really there are some things that you cannot skip, that you need to emphasize a little bit more in order to be really successful at getting virtual demo recommendations. And it really comes back to, like, why do people give recommendations? They give recommendations. They buy Cutco because they like Cutco. They give recommendations because they like who? They like you. And we learned that in Advanced Training 1. And honestly, like, if everyone who listens to this would just go back and like attend another Advanced Training 1, I swear, like with a virtual demo mentality, then they're gonna crush it on their next virtual demo, getting recommendations. And so that's a huge thing. The 10 keys that we learn in Advanced Training 1 for getting more recommendations are absolute gold. Like, these things are straight up money. Take them to the bank. These things are fantastic. And if you can hit every single one of these points, then there's no reason why you shouldn't get virtual recommendations. If you can get really good at those kind of things. So everyone needs to go back and do those and review those 10 keys and get really good at them with a virtual demo mentality. The next thing that I'd really like to address is there's a couple things you need to place a greater emphasis on. That if you are skipping these things in your virtual demo, then you're just setting yourself up for failure. So the number one thing that I would credit to me getting a lot of virtual demo recommendations would have to be rapport. So again, people give referrals because they like you. And so if you don't have a genuine connection with that person, then you're going to be hard pressed to get a lot of recommendations. And so rapport is vital in any presentation, but particularly virtual presentations. They cannot see your face. And so the more connection that you build with that person over the phone, the more likely they're going to trust you, and the more likely they're going to trust you with the names of their friends and their family. And rapport isn't just something you do for 10 minutes or less before your presentation. It should be like 10 to 30 minutes, like before your presentation starts, and then sprinkled throughout your entire presentation. You should really know this person really well by the time you're done, and you should feel like you're genuine friends, because if you feel like you're friends and they feel like you're friends, then they're going to have no problem referring friends to more friends. And it just comes down to that. So you need to have a greater emphasis on rapport. And the thing that really helps build that rapport is your goals. So if you can effectively share your goals, my favorite document in my presentation that I use is the Yopal House. If you don't know what this is, ask your manager. They can talk about this. It's on how to enroll your customers in your goals. And I flat out read this word for word. I mean, I don't look at it. I've got it memorized now. And you should have your referral approach memorized, and most of your good stuff memorized, because eye contact is cool, but you can't do that in a virtual demo, so you can just read that word for word, and it's great. But those like 0.5 and 6, Betty, please don't feel like you have to buy anything today just to help me out with my goal. Cutco is much too expensive to buy to be nice. And so, however, most people I see absolutely love the product. And so if you do see anything you'd like to get today, I really do appreciate it, because anything you get today really does help me out with my goals. But this is the most important part. In fact, my goal isn't to sell you anything. If you decide to get a set of Cutco today, which, like I said, most of my customers do, that's awesome. But mainly, my main goal, and this might kind of sound a little funny, but it's just to make sure you like me, okay? So more than anything, I just want to make sure that you enjoy our time together, so that way you feel good about referring me to your friends or family, just like Susan recommended me to you. And honestly, that's really my favorite part about the job, because all of my appointments are from personal referrals. I get to talk to a ton of really awesome and nice people, just like yourself. And so we don't have to worry about that now. We can talk about that at the end, because we still got to make sure you like me, okay? And so if you can do that, guys, if you can tell people and set that framework, that is so important. Because if you set the framework for referrals at the beginning, then they're expecting it, and they're gonna be more inclined to help you out. So if I tell them that is the most important part of my demo, which I firmly believe that it is, I flat out tell my customers, Mrs. Jones, if I don't have people to see, then I don't have a job. And so I'm working really, really hard towards these goals. And so this is the most important part of my presentation, is having enough people to see. And I express that to my customers, and they understand that, because it means a lot to me. And if it means a lot to me, I can help influence that it means a lot to them. And so if you can set that framework, they're going to be far more inclined, because they are tied into you. They're tied into what you are doing and what you're working towards, and they're going to be more inclined to help you with that, and more ways than just buying Cutco. And so it needs to be important to you guys. Referrals need to be really, really important to you guys. I would stress that. If you don't think referrals are important enough, then you need to have more like meaningful goals. And as your goals are a higher caliber, then referrals are going to be more important, because you're going to be striving for something important. And so just to kind of review, the biggest things is you need to be likable. And I don't think anyone listening to this isn't a likable person. We tend to filter out the people that aren't likable in our application process. We have really awesome people in our division, and I have no doubt in my mind that everyone listening to this isn't the kind of person that our customers should feel comfortable referring. You just have to portray yourself in a way that someone would want to refer you, and that comes through meaningful goal sharing, effective rapport, and it's just, as long as you can do those two things, then you're going to crush it on the virtual demo recommendations. So get out there, guys, review. Just know there is no difference between the virtual and the in-home presentation. It is just a presentation, and so that being said, it's how you present. And so if you can do those things, you're going to present more effectively, and your customers are going to love to help you out. So that's all I have, guys. Go to Advanced Training 1 again, and you guys are going to crush it. So I hope that helps. Appreciate it. Bye.